Hey everyone, it's Luke here. I'm an amateur poker player and started to play more online and do tournaments. And I've been studying a little bit recently and trying to refine my game. I don't see a lot of videos online that actually go through like all the relevant hands, but quickly and efficiently, and like share quickly and efficiently what concepts are really working. I really appreciate Jonathan Little. He's an amazing coach. I think he's a little too verbose, so a lot of the time I get bored watching his videos, but like I learned so much from him. I'm going to go through and basically my goal, I'll share my goal first, is to basically beat the low stakes poker tournaments like online. So you buy in for $5, $10, $20, and you can consistently chip up and gain. I want to turn 100 into 10,000 or something. I recently just turned 100 into 500. Not a big accomplishment yet. I believe that my skill level is beating the game now. And so that's why I wanted to start making videos because I think I've learned enough to where now I will consistently start to be chipping up. And I'm going to keep studying, but I wanted to loop you guys into this process and share some insights what I'm learning and what I'm seeing about where the leaks are and stuff. And I recently just took down a $5 tournament, 100 and something players, and won $400. And I chose the relevant hands and I'll share those with you quickly. This should only take maybe 10 minutes, but it'll show a lot about where I'm at with my game. I'd love to see comments on if you agree or disagree with any decisions that I made and why, and I'll share some of my rationale too. After I show you all the relevant hands from this tournament, I will share a few other thoughts and ideas just about tools and tricks and how to learn that I'm picking up as I go. So I'm going into Holdem Manager here, Holdem Manager 3, which is recommended by Jonathan Little. We can talk more about this tool later, but I'm just going to replay all the relevant hands now. So, first hand, so I'm 2-7 offsuit. So, um, oh, actually, I think this was the last hand, so I'm going to go ahead and start again. Yeah, I just gotta. Oh, here we go. All right, there we go. I'm 2-7 offsuit. Let's start at the beginning. All right, so I've got fives. I decided to raise from early position. Sometimes I just call, but I normally min raise whatever I'm doing. I don't hit. I did not continuation bet because there's 4 players in the hand, so I just laid that one down. 10 king suited. This is a little loose for me, but there's a couple seats missing, so that's why I would raise from under the gun with 10 king suited. And boom, I hit a beauty flop. So I do a 60% bet. I believe you want to invite your opponents to make mistakes. So if somebody's got a low flush draw, somebody's got a jack, you want them to make mistakes. So put some money in the pot, and there we go. I did another half pot bet because I'm loving this. I've got the top pair. It'll kick her, but I've also got a flush draw. Boom, hit the flush. Now what do? Well, I think I'm gonna bet. I think I'm gonna bet again, something like half pot. Yeah, there I do another half pot bet. Trying to get as much as I can out of these guys, and I don't get any more. Queen 8. I'm trying to steal. This is not like a very good playable hand. He calls with 3-9 suited. I don't even continue. That's interesting. I think I should have continuation bet there for like a third pot because I call his little tiny bet. Like he bets 1/5 of the pot, right? You got to call that with any pair, or not any pair, but with the queen definitely. But if you continuation bet with like 1/3 pot, you're gonna be printing money, I believe. That's something I learned from I think Jonathan Little. Like one of the things people are doing wrong is they're not c betting enough with like small bets. People lay it down a lot. I just call with ace 8 here. I don't really know why. It's not good enough to raise. Um, and all the guy did was limped, but I just laid it down at this point. Queen King. Oh no, yeah, Queen King suited. Wait, I think I skipped. Ahead here. Sorry about that. Okay, so I min raised with the Queen King suited. Nice hand, even from under the gun. It's kind of like my minimum though. Ace Queen or Queen King suited from under the gun. I get a raise here, but I'm liking it. So I call the 3-bet. 2 players, hit top pair with good kicker. He bets half pot. I call. He bets 60% pot. I call. Now I'm starting to get afraid of him. And thank goodness he checks there. That would have been a tough spot. And fortunately we split. Queen King suited. I think I'll raise here. Yep, definitely did raise. Now, since I'm the one with the lead, I can c-bet now, which I bet you I do. Oh, no, I checked it. See, you got to c-bet small. Oh, no, I picked up a flush draw. This guy bets, though. 9-10. I've got a jack for a straight. I think I'm going to fold this. Yep. A little bit tough fold. I mean, I could hit the diamond, but it's, it's a bad investment, I think. So, disagree with me if you want. Ooh, the kings. Min raise as usual. I always keep my bet the same. I pre-flop bet the same, so they never know what I've got. The ace comes, but I still jam. Basically, I'm jamming against. I'm risking 25 big blinds, and I'm betting on the fact that he doesn't have the ace. One of the things I notice in these tournaments, though, is there's a lot of fish who are willing to put in their money with not really that good. Like this is a bad move to put in 25 to risk 25 big blinds for 5 to get 5 big blinds. But I bet you with a flush draw he's going to call me, which that's bad money he'd be putting in. You want your opponents to make mistakes, right? That's bad money he'd be putting in. A lot of times they're going to call with 10s, jacks, queens, kings, one of those straight draws. So he didn't have the ace. So I'm not saying that was a great move. I'm just giving my rationale, right? Because I think I'm at the point now where I'm beating these games, these small stakes games. I just called from early position just because it's not that great of a hand, and I'm trying to control the size of the pot. I don't want to see someone raise and re-raise and think Queen King is good here, so I ended up folding. So kind of glad that I only limped. Let's keep going. Whoops, Queen 3. Let's see what happened. So he bet pre-flop to 6.67 big blinds. Oh, but he was all in. So with the Queen 3, especially like for pot odds, I think this is a no-brainer from a pot odds perspective. Sometime I'll show you that this program that I do. Maybe in another hand coming up, I'll show you this program that calculates the pot odds. Did I end up getting? I think we split actually here in this situation. Yeah. So I got kind of lucky there, but pot odds, right? Okay, this guy jams again with 7 bigs. I folded just because the guy to my left, and the guy to my left is definitely calling in retrospect, but I would call this all day long if there was no one behind me to act, but I'm just afraid of that other guy. And I don't have a lot of money to play around with. Ace Jack suited, obviously. I called just because this guy's early position, and he's basically pot committed at this point. 10.6 big blinds behind. He's definitely like jamming to any re-raise, and I don't really want to see that. He folded, and I actually folded with my ace jack, which is interesting, right? You might think, oh, you're so tight. You're folding your ace jack. You're folding your 15 big blinds when somebody raised early position raiser and a caller. But look, that's just where I'm at. I just think that you got to play a little more conservative when they're going to jam all that money. Um, Ace king against ace 3 suited. I just call. Hopefully I'll pick up a flush draw or something. Hit the ace, and then he's all in for 80% pot. So I think I'm calling this. I hit the ace. I mean, I'm not loving the situation I'm in to have to call this because I've got a weak ace, and sure enough, I lose. But I felt like I had to call. A lot of people in this situation are going to bluff and try to steal the pot because they're getting down on chips, so they need to make a move. So those are the kinds of guys I'm trying to catch. This guy makes it 4 big blinds pre-flop. I've only got Jack 3, but I've only got 4 big blinds left, and pot odds and stuff, I just decided to go with it. I lose here, but then I rebuy. So I'm still alive because it's before the rebuy is over. Okay, everybody's calling. Obviously 4-8, you just check. I hit the 4. This guy bets, and then I fold. I don't know why I flagged this hand to even show you guys. Sorry about that. That's a boring hand. Okay, ace queen. I think I'm just gonna call this. Yep. Now, some people might argue that I could jam. There's an early position raiser. There's a re-raiser, though. See, that's a lot of action. This guy doesn't have a lot of chips. This guy could have anything. He's early position. I think I'm going to be committed. And just decided to call. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know all the reasons why I do what I do. But I absolutely smashed the flop. And at this point, everybody's checking. I think I'm going to jam. Yep, certainly did. Everybody folds. Took it down. Tens. Now, this guy jams 100 big blinds, but he's only playing against, I mean, everybody else has only got 30 max, right? So he's basically risking 30 big blinds and jamming. Now, the thing that I noticed about these tournaments, this guy calls with his 7 big blinds. That's like nothing. He could have anything. I would think a guy with 10 jack suited would do it. Would sometimes call this with these, in this Tom 605's position. So I don't think of him like as being in the hand. I just think I'm up against this Mikey 134. And to be honest, like in these tournaments, this is a $5 buy-in with a $5 add-on, and you can double rebuy. Well, what I notice is just, especially in the early stages of this tournament, there's just a lot of fish. And you want to find yourself in a situation where you got a good hand against somebody jamming. You really do. So I just decided to go and jam and call, actually. So I was ahead, so I actually, in this situation, I evaluated that correct. Just not being afraid to like put your money in when a lot of the time people are making bad decisions. So there we go. All right, new table. So I've got jacks. Ace king. You've got an under the gun raiser, a call, and now I'm re-raising. Well, it's a big hand, so yeah, I think you gotta 3-bet with your kings. Got the call from the jacks. Got another call. Got another call. Everybody likes it. I've got an absolutely beautiful flop. Top pair, nut flush draw. I mean, I'm loving this. Let's see. I think in this case I want to bet because you want to invite your opponents to make mistakes, So I bet third pot. It looks like a C bet. I get a call from the jacks, and who has a decent flush draw. This is a perfect guy to go up against because he's like, he's got a pair and a decent flush draw. He checks. I think I'm going to check it here. No, I bet again. He called, and he checks. And I just checked it this time because maybe the queen, I didn't hit my flush. I need to, maybe, I don't know. I could have bet. I think I might have. I think I probably should jam there. So I might have. Oh no, I was thinking of it from the wrong guy's perspective. I was assuming I was the. Let's go back. I just want to say I'm the one with jacks. So let's see if I played. Sorry, Now you've probably already seen the hand and you're not even curious now, but I called, so with jacks, because I'm 2-7 offsuit. So with jacks, I just called the re-raise. And I've got a pair with a decent flush draw. Yeah. Yeah, he bets 14 bigs there. I'm reluctantly calling here. Very reluctantly. Because I've only got a pair. I mean, I'm not loving my flush draw when it's not there yet. And I have to commit so much of my chips. So, alright. So, another gun +1 does a really big... Oh, that's why he bet so big pre-flop, because he's jamming. I probably agree with his decision to jam there. And I just called him. And that's another situation with pot odds. Let's actually calculate this one out. So the pot is 5.25. Oh, here it is. The pot is 7.88. Oh, here, handy dandy poker holdem manager says I need 1.85 to 1. I need to win 35% of hands to call this. So let's see if Queen 7 is better than his jamming range with 5.25 big blinds. So what we do is that we open up some kind of lab. Where is that? Where is that? Yeah, Equilab. That's what we do. So it calculates equity. This is a really cool tool. I'll just show you really quick. So what do I have? Queen 7 off, right? I've got Queen of Spades, 7 of diamonds, 7 of hearts. And then what we want to do is we want to see, does this have the 35% equity that we need against his jamming range from early position? So let's look. We need to select his different hands that he could have. There should be a screen that pops up now. Where is it? Oh, my Equilab isn't working. Sorry, guys. All right, we'll do it another time. But what you'll find is I'm like quite sure that when you put in the range of what he's going to have here, all you have to do is win 35% of the time. You've got a queen. Against somebody with only 5.25 big blinds, their range is going to be pretty wide. So let's see if I won. Nope. He took it. Still happy with my decision. Okay, ace king, love it. He jams. This is an absolutely no-brainer call. Even with 2 players, I mean, it's ace king. You gotta go. And we ended up splitting that guy's money. All right, 10 king from the small blind. Here I think I should be re-raising. I just called though. So I'm playing pretty tight. Hit the king. Third pot bet. Guy calls. Hit the trips. Half pot bet. Guy calls. Really nothing else happening on the board. I check to try to induce a bluff. And boom! I got a bluff. Now I'm re-raising. And he folds. So I was lucky that I was able to induce a bluff there. Just calling with the ace-8. Yeah, I don't know if I should be just calling that. I should probably be re-raising that. If I want to play, I should re-raise, or I should just fold. But just to call, I don't know, I think that's a weak play that I did there. 1 big blind. I think I was playing 6 tournaments at the time, so I just called there. Even though I had an ace high, I called a really small bet. And he bets one big blind and then I fold. Wow. That was a weird hand. Yeah, I don't know what to do with these guys who make the really small bets. I mean, I know it's stupid to, oh yeah, here's where I fold ace six suited from the under the gun. I don't know if you guys would do that, but I'm much tighter from under the gun. So I just chose that hand to show like the ranges that I'm selecting. But yeah, these players who do these really small bets, like they're weird. King six, I hit nothing. He's the one who has the lead. He's the one who raised, and so I'm just checking to let him because he's got the lead. A lot of the time I'm gonna try to third pot bet and just bluff at a lot of these pots and take them. But he had the lead there, so I was just gonna let him, check fold. King eight. I folded the king eight, so I'm not trying to defend my small blind with that light. So I just chose that hand from a range perspective. Ace jack. All right, this guy jams 8 big blinds. I think this is a fold because of the guys after me. Nobody else has action. Yeah, but I folded my ace jack here. So, and look, I don't know if that's the right decision, but if I was the big blind and I just had to call him for 8 big blinds, like all day. But I just don't I don't want to go all in with my ace jack with 26 big blinds. I think that's way too risky. So there's 2 guys or 3 guys behind me. Not happening. 2-3 suited is the worst hand in poker from a psychological perspective. Don't play it. It's suited runners. Just don't play it. See, I'll say certain things that I do know, so that the very beginner poker players can actually learn from me. But I think this will be just as interesting for people who are ahead of me in their journey, just to kind of see how the hands play out and just learn from highlights of how to win a tournament, right? Because these are highlights of me taking down the whole tournament. Oh, I folded something here. Ace nine. See, I folded ace nine, and you might say, oh, that's pretty tight, but you've got 2 very early position players interested in the hand, and I don't want it. I've only got 23 big blinds. I want to use them wisely. King 10. Folded that one too. Another example, you might say, oh, King 10 is a decent hand. Well, just trying to be smart with the remaining money I have. I've only got 17 big blinds left. Now, this might be a jamming hand. Nah, min raise. Oh, this guy raised already. I think I would call just to kind of set mine here. Nope, folded, so I'm playing tight. But I could call that and try to get a set. Okay, fives. I don't know. Seems like I was in the mood to be folding these fives as well. Oh, there's another guy just calling. I bet y'all see a flop now. Oh, folded. Pretty tight. Playing pretty tight right now. Again, it could be because I'm playing 6 tournaments at once. I have to act too quick and I don't want to have to think too hard. And I just called the queen. There's a lot of limpers. I just called the queen king suited. Yeah, see, any ace might call me if I jam here. And the reality is an ace is ahead of me. So that's why I just wanted to see if I got a piece of the flop. And if I did, I'm going to get a nice pop. If I get a piece of the flop, I'm jamming. I do not. Oh, it gets bet and called, so obviously I'm out. Queen king. I think I'm going to fold this one. Yep. See, there's an early position raiser, and I've only got 10 big blinds left. I mean, there's maybe some pocket pairs after me. There's a lot of people to play after me. Nah, see, I would have hit there, and but you don't look at it like that, right? You just play for long-term value. And okay, here finally I've got jacks, and I'm obviously jamming here. That's a no-brainer play. And I fortunately take it down. Let's see, pocket fours. I might be set mining here. Nope, folded it. Yep, I could see calling too. I wouldn't 3-bet that one. But, okay, I've got pocket tens. This guy raises. I re-raise him. He's only got a few bigs, and then he calls. Well, I'm definitely putting the rest of my money in whatever happens. Yeah. Because he's got so little. Like he's got so little chips that he's almost gonna play with anything. That's what you'll notice, especially in these low stakes tournaments. A lot of the times they'll play with anything. So I just stole that one with ace eight. I think that was a no-brainer play. So early position raised. I've got ace six. I'm definitely defending here. Um, definitely defending this one. So, in this Jimbo, let's look at his stats, right? So I've seen 81 hands of him, and this is a HUD, right? A heads up display. I'm looking at these stats and like some people may not know about heads up display. If you're serious about poker online, you have to get a heads up display. Everyone has it. I've seen 81 hands of his. 30% of the hands he plays. 14% of the hands he's raising. So he plays a lot. I think the best players are like around. Everyone's different, but like you can expect a real pro to be like 27, 23 or something. This guy calls a lot more. He calls more than he should, and he doesn't raise as much as he should. So he might be tight here, but he's got very little chips. Anyway, I defend. Not sure the point of saying all that was. He bets. I'm definitely gonna fold this here. Kings, the powerhouse hand. I'm obviously raising, and I'm making it 2.5 instead of 2 now because I've got a limper. So I can maybe get more money out of the call from him, and he does call. So he hits the 10, my dream scenario, and I just put a little bit in so he can jam. Put the rest, get a call, obviously win the pot. I didn't show you the last card, but I won that pot. This is again to show range, right? Jack Queen suited under the gun +2, and with one seat missing, and I still folded it. So call me tight if you want, but it's early position. You've got Queen high. You're starting with Queen high. Anyway, and then you find somebody who's got Ace King after you. That's why there's so many seats after you. You got to be willing to be tight from early position. Now that principle I know for sure is right. I don't know if it's right to fold that Jack Queen suited in that position. Oh look, I defend here because everybody's calling the min raise. I've got suited Queen. Obviously I don't like it anymore. I hit the 2. Doesn't matter. This guy's betting. This guy's calling. I don't care. I've got ace 7 in the big blind. You got 2 jams. This is not going to be a calling hand. Oh, another guy. Guarantee I fold that. Okay, 9s on the button. Early position raise. I think I'm going to call this. Oh, I jam with my 25 big blinds. Very aggressive. Very aggressive. Like in rounders. He calls with his ace jack. And yeah, I heard Jonathan Little say you got to win some coin flips if you're going to win a tournament. And I like the 9s, and I actually luckily hit trips. So that was a huge hand. I've got ace queen suited here. I make it 3 times the big blind. I get 2 callers. The flop is an absolute brick, and I still bluff at it. And I get jammed on, obviously folding this. He's got some kind of spade, right? But I love those little jabs, like the third pot bet. I'll tell you what, it makes money. Even on that textured board, like they will usually fold. Even 2 players will fold to that bet. Oh, I got re-raised here with the Jack King, right? I min-raised from early position, got re-raised, and just folded. So call me tight. Tell me I should. You might be right if I should call that 3-bet. I really don't know, but it's just nice to know that these decisions resulted in a win, a tournament win. So I mean, okay, I'm calling the kind of 3 Yeah, obviously. I'm calling the 3 big blind bet. I miss. I'm in position against these guys. They check it. And in this case, I'm not the leader. I'm not the person who led out pre-flop. So I'm going to check it. Everybody's checking. I might have been tempted to bet here. I still check it. Yeah, I remember feeling so lucky at the end of this hand. Everyone checked, and I decided I'm just going to check it. And maybe I'm winning with my ace high. And sure enough, I won. So that was lucky. I could have bluffed on the turn probably, but since they didn't want it, I would have taken it down, but who knows? Okay, king 2 suited. I didn't feel like raising that up. See, he checks. I'm definitely gonna. This is a juicy pot. Third pot bet. Oh, I did a half there. So there you go. He calls. Uh-oh. He's calling my bet, right? He checks. I'm going for a double barrel. Okay, here's a situation. I learned this from Jonathan Little. And I'm not sure exactly how well this is working with the small stakes, but the thing is, I called from the big. I defended from the big blind, right? Or did I defend, or did I just check? Let me just see. Oh, it was, yeah. He just called. So I'm not even defending, right? But the thing is, like, he's calling with something. What I have in the big blind, especially when I'm just checking, is like shitty cards, low cards. So like sevens, fives, and eights. Like I'm very easily gonna have a 6-9, right? Just because I'm not interested in raising. So these cards are really hitting my range, and so if I bet here, um, I'm kind of signaling that I hit like my 5 and my 7 or whatever, and so it's hard for him to call. He must have had at least some kind of higher card or a pair to call pre-flop. Anyway, it comes a 3, another low card, perfect for the big blind checking range, and so I double barrel this. He calls, and I think I'm going for the triple barrel here. It's just a good range for a triple barrel. It's signaling that I've got it, that I've got something good. I go for another third pot bet, and he lays it down. So pretty juicy triple barrel there. Made some good money on that. All right. Now those triple barrel bluffs I've been experimenting with, they can cost you money. So I mean, I'm not like advocating for them. I'm just learning. So I hit the top pair, ace kicker. Guy bets 1 into 6 big blinds. I think that's a pretty donkey play. Yeah, so I just re-raised to something proper, and he folds. These tiny bets are weird. I don't really know how to and there's not really a consistent thing these players do with their tiny bets either. Okay, raising to 4 big blinds. So notice how it's 4 pre-flop now with the tens, but that's just because we had a limper, and that limper is probably gonna. Maybe he's got like a 10 queen suited or something, right? And he's just limping to see how it flops. But now that he's got money in the pot, he's going to want to maybe call the raise. And he's going to be even more incentivized because he's got money in the pot, and the pot odds are bigger now. He can win 7 big blinds. So he might call 3 big blinds, right? Even with his like speculative hand. And that's what you want to make people do, right? You want to make them make mistakes. My tens are beautiful here. Now, this is interesting because he limped, but then jammed. Um, so he's jamming with 15 big blinds. There's 2 other guys who liked the hand. I might actually come up with a fold here. I folded my tens, yep. Because look, this guy's he's playing a shark move. And I actually did this shark move later in the tournament that you'll see. Which is just a limp and then jam. So he's got a hand. Let's see if he does have a hand. Oh, he never shows. Too bad. I bet you he's got something good. All right, Jack Queen off. Folded that. So you can see how I'm tight from under the gun, right? Jack Queen off and I'm folding. 9 Jack. I fold. I don't even defend with the 9 Jack off. I don't defend the small blind. 10-7 suited. Usually I'll defend a min raise with this. Yeah, I defend here. I've got nothing. And I do that third pot bet. See, and okay, this isn't the range for the big blind defense. Like the Jack and the Queen are kind of hitting high range, but I've just been making a lot of money off these tiny bets. Third pot bet, it's like I can make a lot of money. And I wasn't even leading out pre-flop, but I'm telling you, I kind of broke a rule there, right? Like I should have checked maybe to the leader, but I'm telling you, those little bets make money. Okay, so here I'll probably just call instead of re-raise because I've got a few chips, only a few chips, and I'd like to see that the flop is low. Boom, 7, 8, 9. This is gorgeous, right? I've got an open-ended. I've got higher than the top pair, and I just checked it because I want to check raise. Boom, he bets, I raise him, he folds. So that's a nice time for a check raise. You want to check raise with your really good hands and your really good draws, and this happened to be kind of almost both. So folded the ace-7 to an early position raiser. There's just another note on range, like starting range. Again, jack-king, folded early. Ace-king, min raise, always min raising if I have a hand. I don't hit, but I'm still c-betting here for a third pot. And I just, again, see how you're making money off that c-bet. So just c-bet with everything. That's especially at these low levels. Oh, look, I defended with a 5-8 suited. Well, feeling a little bit speculative right now. And he jams. I'll obviously fold. Ace-3. Am I going to try to steal here? Nope. I didn't even try to steal. I've only got 17 big blinds. I'm playing super tight right now. Ace-Jack. Maybe I only call here? No, I raised. I raised it up to 4. So here I'm ready to, I'm ready to see what happens. He actually folds. And that's where, you're bold enough to do the re-raise when you got low chips. Well, you got Ace-Jack. I mean, at some point you gotta put your money where your mouth is. All right, I'm gonna defend here. Oh no, not anymore. That's a clear fold. Okay, ace-5 suited. I just call here. I could have raised, but I've only got 17 big blinds, right? So I check it. And he didn't want it, right? He didn't want it on the flop. So I'm thinking, well, if you want to give it up, oh, he calls. Am I going to double barrel? Yes, I go for the double barrel and he folds. That was a pretty bold move there. I remember feeling really lucky there, but I decided, hey, take a stab. It's late in the tournament now. Ace-4. So I'm trying to steal here with the ace-4. I get a call. I'm obviously going to c-bet this. He checks. I've got position on him. I c-bet. He checks. I check it again. I'm willing to lay it down now. So the c-bet didn't work. Got jack-10 folded. 3-king. Probably willing to defend this. I don't raise. And I smashed the flop with my 3-king. That's why you defend the big blind right there. I check it, obviously. Because, if there were flushes coming or more texture like 10-jack, 9-jack, I might consider betting with the trips and a good kicker. But there's not a lot. He can't catch up too quickly on me. So I want to let him hit another card, hit an ace. So he checks. I check. I still don't see a lot happening right now. I want him to hit even 2-pair. So obviously I took a risk waiting this long, but now he checks. So I'm obviously putting a little in. I'm trying to tempt him with this, and he folds. Could have made more off that. Oh, the aces. So so here's where I made that shark move, right? So I just called. Then he raises. Now, when I re-raise him, he better know that I've got something. But he didn't think of it. So this guy obviously made a mistake. Let's look at his stats. X. This is Rico Suave, right? So Rico, I've seen 49 hands with him. He plays a lot. And he 3-bets way too much. He 3-bets 18% of the time. Well, it should be around 10%, I think. I was looking at Jonathan Little's stats. So I think this guy's way. And he should have just called with his jacks, I feel. So I'm obviously re-raising him all in. He's calling, and I took down that pot. Yep. Let's see here. It's getting closer to the end. 9-king. I do a min raise. There's only 5 players left. Get a call. I'm doing that greedy little c-bet thing, and I get the folds. So there you go. It's printing money, I'm telling you. 1/3 pot. I played with 1/4 pot for a little bit because that's actually what the pro said who I was listening to. Okay, 5s, right? But it wasn't working. It's like everybody would call the quarter pot, but the third pot tends to get a lot of folds. Yeah, I think this is pot odds where you really, man, I wish we could get Ecolab going again. Let's see. Let's give it one more try because this is a really nice time to see if Ecolab works. So does that screen pop up? Nope. Dang it. So something's going wrong with my Ecolab, but you can calculate this out, and I think this is a clear call. You have to win. So you're putting in, let's see, 6.83 to win 9.45. You have to win 40% of the time. He's only got 8 big blinds. He could be betting with anything. I bet you he would. I bet you he would do this with 8 jack, and I've seen that a lot. So I called, and I think I took it. Yep, I got it. So, pot odds right there. 10-6. Look at that. I just defended the small blind. He bets. I fold. End of hand. 10 king. He's jamming. I think I'm calling here for pot odds. Yep. Because I was in a situation again where I'm trying to call 6.3 to win 11, you know? Like the money that's in the pot is already committed. You can't think, oh, I've already invested X. You got to think that money's gone. I'm in a new situation right now. It's like I woke up with a hand and this is the situation on the table. This is how you have to evaluate the hand. You got to think, am I willing to invest 6.3 big blinds to win 11.3 big blinds? And if I can win more than 35% of the time, 36% of the time against his average range, you know, I got to call this. And in this situation, I think it's a clear call. I hit my king, and bingo, I got lucky there, you know. But it's consistently making those decisions where you're going to chip up. King 6. I think I just checked this, and I'm doing that bluffy third pot, right? And sure enough, one of the things I noticed was these guys were very tight. So there's only 3 players left. These guys started to be very tight, and you can see, oh, this guy called. Let's see. Oh, I've got the nut flush draw here, so I'm gonna bet half pot. Got to fold. These guys were just tight, so I opened it up a lot more. Now I think there I want to bet regardless if they're tight, but okay, I got a caller. I'm raising it with queen king. Obviously, he folds. See, they're folding a lot. So 3 king. See, I'm raising even with 3 king against the short stack, and then he folds. Jack king raising. Got 2 callers, and again I'm doing that third pot, and they fold. Like you're printing money with that third pot bet. I'm telling you. 4 queen. Just checked it. Hit my 4, and oh, I thought I was gonna bet there. Oh, hit my queen. Hit the 4 queen. And he folds. I hit a nice 2 pair there. 9 king suited. All I did was call. I'm surprised. I think I should have bet there. What's going on with that? It's weird. I'm trying to figure out why I would do that. 9 king suited. Because that guy just called. Yeah, maybe because he was playing tight. And now he's just calling. And I was being super tight, I guess. But now we're obviously folding this guy's jam. 6s. Raise. This guy re-raises with my 6s. I think I'm going to fold this. Yep. And like he also re-raised 4 times my bet. It's a pretty big re-raise, especially with how tight he was playing. I just decided, you know what? I'm letting it go. Because I was making so much money with my bets when I was like even bluffing pots. I didn't want to let that good thing go to waste by like playing against a good hand. I just wanted to keep printing money. So I think I bluffed there too. Yep, there's my there's a half pot bet because I couldn't bet any less than that. Took it down. Oh, that's a situation where you hit a nice range for being the big blind too. Oh, now it's just me and him, right? So I'm the big blind. He calls, I check it. That's a nice range for when you're the big blind not raising. So that's another reason why I bet. Anyway, 7 king, raised it up. He calls. I'm doing my usual continuation bet. He calls. Now I hit a flush draw, so that's why I keep going with the double barrel. Gotta fold. This guy was folding to a lot of bets, so I just decided let it roll. Um, Raising with the queen seven. Like when your head's up, you gotta play almost every hand, right? At least that's my theory, my operating theory so far. Oh, he's got the kings now. And he just does that shark flat call. So I'm raising with the ace. He's still trapping. 10, jack, queen, king. He's got the open-ended. But the thing is, if he hits trips, I'm going to hit a straight. I bet he calls. So why did I bet? Well, I've been doing a lot of that little bet, that tiny. So I did a half pot bet. I've obviously got a king for a straight. Nothing else, but I've got a draw. And amazingly, he hits his trips. Now, it's not quite as good as it looks because any nine, any ace is beating him. He knows that. So I just checked it. I'm trying to trap. I have to bet this. I mean, like, I cannot keep trapping like that. I need to put some money in. He's got trips. He just calls. He intelligently just calls because he knows that, he's got trips, but there's one card to what a disappointing hand for him, right? So, he re-raised big here. And again, he was tight. So I just decided to fold my king 10. Like, I was just thinking, I just don't want to run up against a really big hand. One that he's going to want to bet huge on the flop. And here he goes again with his, like, 8 big blinds pre-flop. Like, he's re-raising me. He's 3-betting me. And I'm just letting this go. So now he's finding out that I'm betting with a bunch of hands pre-flop. So I might see. That's why I just checked with my jack nine. Sometimes I'd even bet jack nine pre-flop, but I just checked it because he's starting to realize. Like, I'm thinking about my image in his eyes, right? Now I've got an open-ended. I do a half pot bet or a 60% pot bet. He folds. Like, I mean, bet your draws. That's my opinion. Let's go. And then there was one final hand that actually showed at the beginning, and I'll just show it again. Dun, dun, dun. The way the tournament ended, I'm sure you'd like to see that. So I had 410 only, right? And I raised with it. Like, I've been playing a lot of hands, right? Then I hit the flush draw, and I decide I'm going to do my continuation bet. He checks. So he's trapping me, right? He's just flat calling. I think what he needed to do here was, actually no. He doesn't have the best pair. I wasn't thinking of that because the ace is there. So maybe he's playing it right. Anyway, he checks again. I bet half pot. So now I'm bluffing, and I know it, right? Now I'd love to hit. Now he's re-raising me, and I decide, you know what? Pot odds. I call 4 more to win 21. The chances are better than that I will hit. The chances are better than 16.7% that I will hit my flush. And I need 16.7% odds to make this a profitable play. That's a beautiful thing about the pot odds calculation. It's really helpful to guide you in whether to, invest in a pot or not. So I call, and luckily, there you go, hit my flush. He's loving his hand. I jam. He calls, and game over. So, so that was really fun. And then, like, a couple other comments that I'll just make. I love this holdem manager 3. It's not that expensive, $100 a month, $100 a year. How it shows up on your 888 poker account. Oh, this is where I go in the tournaments, and I buy into these these 1650s and these 440s, these 550s. This is the best one. This Turbo RNA. This is the one that I just won. There's just a lot of low quality players, and they don't do their add-on. So when the add-on happens, and you have to pay $5 more to top up like another 6,000 chips, a lot of people don't even use it. And then you go from like 60th to 30th place. I just feel like this is a very profitable tournament right now. I've won it several times. So a couple other things about the tools. Yeah, so like this HUD works on a lot of different sites though. And it's just helpful to see people's stats. This is the other thing I wanted to note. So like when you go into reports, you can go tournaments by day. And like a lot of time I'm multi-tabling, right? So you can see like on this day I played 6 tournaments, this day I played 8, this day I played 11 tournaments. And you get a lot more experience that way. You get a lot of hands in. So it's helpful. So I put the date in here 9/1 because I want to see my progress, right? And this is just another for beginning poker players. This is one of the reasons why I did this video is because I like beginning poker players to like get the quick tips that I've accrued over like many YouTube videos long. And the reason why I like rifle through the hands is because I get bored watching people just talk endlessly about their hands, but I do want to see how the hands play out. And I want to hear the tidbits of wisdom about how they're thinking about the hand. And this is another really big tidbit of wisdom. And the reason why I think I've beat this low stakes game now, I think I'm at that point. Knock on wood. Because the all-in adjusted big blind per 100 here is more than 7. So that's what Jonathan Little says is if your all-in adjusted big blind per 100 is more than 7 over the longer term, you're beating that level. So probably that's why I just turned 100 into 500, and like it wasn't just from this one tournament. I bought in for 100, and I would invest 40 or 50 on a day, and I'd make it back. I'd invest I'd invest 40 or 50 and only make 20. I'd be down to 80. I'd invest 40 or 50, and then I'd make another 100, and it'd be bouncing back and forth, back and forth. I was grinding, and I just won a tournament. So anyway, and look, every single one of these days, I was generally winning. Like this day, I played in 6 tournaments, and I was averaging 40 big blinds per 100. So, and if you go back longer, and this is the interesting thing, right? Because if I go back longer, so let's go back to April, because this is when I got started like more, like frequently, playing more frequently. I was only 3 big blinds per 100 since April. So if you go down to like the earlier days, before I was watching all the Jonathan Little YouTube videos, some days I got slaughtered. 91, negative 83. You can see that there's a lot of red there. I went like 7 days without earning, without being positive. So recently I'm starting to learn these tips, and that's the tips I'm trying to share here. So it'll be fun to hopefully track the journey that I'm on. If I can start to beat this game, I'll share more tips with you guys. And I just think this HUD is awesome. This poker, and you can see what your best hands are. And I actually went through and I just hit Control A, selected over here. I Control A, selected all my hands, and then I went through them. Replay. That's just how I showed you everything. And then I marked them. So I said, oh, this one's worth reviewing. This one's worth reviewing. So it was actually a 200 something hand game, but I didn't. There were so many that I didn't even mark for you guys to see. So a lot of fun. I think having the HUD is really helpful, and hopefully there will be more wins to show you in due time. So thanks for watching.